Good day, everyone. We are going to be looking at the theory of logarithm. So, in theory of logarithm, we are going to be using the relationship between indices and logarithm, as well as the laws of logarithm to solve problems. Well, the first thing we have to look at is the relationship between indices and logarithms. Now, remember that if n is equals to b raised to the power of x, if this n is equals to b raised to the power of x. Now, what am I trying to say? I'm saying this. If, for example, this n is 100, and this 100 is equals to 10 raised to the power of 2. Remember that 10 raised to the power of 2 is actually 10 times 10, and it's going to give us 100. So that's what we mean by that. Now, if n is equals to b raised to the power of x, that is, if 100 is equals to 10 raised to the power of 2, remember that we have expressed this 100 in index form, which is equals to 10 raised to the power of 2. So in logarithm form, we will just say to change this to logarithm, we are just going to say logarithm of n, logarithm of this n to base b. Now look at this, n equals to b raised to the power of x. Now you will discover that the base here is this b, is this small letter b. So both indices and logarithm make use of the same base. Please take note. So this is the number n, and if we change it to index form, it's going to be b raised to the power of x. Just like 100 here is equals to 10 raised to the power of 2. So in logarithm form, if you want to change this from indices to logarithm, what you just need to do is that you just say logarithm of this number, which is n, to this base, which is what? B. Remember I said indices and logarithm, they make use of the same base. So the logarithm of n to this base, also b, will be equals to this power of b, which is x. That's how to convert. That's how to change. Please, this change is very simple. Forget the English and so. Now, for example, let's change this on this 100 equals to 10 raised to the power of 2. So what we are going to say is that it means that if we want to change this to logarithm form, so we are going to say logarithm of what? Logarithm of 100. Who can tell us the base? Well, the base is what? The base is 10. So which is base to base what? 10 is going to be equals to what? It's going to be equals to 2. So that's how to change this expression to logarithm form like this. So now, having known that, let's assume that we have something like this, everyone. If we have, for example, we have 2 raised to the power of 6 is equals to 64. And we are asked to change this to logarithm form. Now remember that the number is written at the right hand side this time. So someone else can write something like this and say 64 is equals to 2 raised to the power of 6. Don't say, why did they write the 2 raised to the power of 6 at the left hand side? Of course, where you saw it in a textbook, it was written at the right hand side or whatever. No. Your own is to be able to identify the number. So now, remember that 2 raised to the power of 6 is equals to 64. So the number is actually 64, being changed to what? To index form. So 64 is equals to 2 raised to the power of 6. Now, if you are to change this to logarithm form, please, how are you going to change it? How are you going to change it? Just simply say the logarithm of the number, which is 64, to the base. Now, remember, indices and logarithm makes use of the same base. So I will just say to base what? Everyone, to base 2 is equals to what? Is equals to 6. So that is simply the relationship between indices and logarithm. And one more thing that I need to add to this is that now, if you know how to convert, if you know how to change from indices to logarithm, please know how to change from logarithm to indices. It is very important. And in fact, that is one of the things we are going to be using when we are trying to simplify problems. Now, what am I trying to say? I'm saying that just like I said that now I can say 64 is equals to 2 raised to the power of 6, right? So in logarithm, if I want to change this to logarithm, it's going to be what? Logarithm of 64 base what? Base 2. Remember, the base will not change. So is equals to 6. Am I right? So now, if somebody give us this, this is in logarithm form, right? Now, if I want to change, I want to change this to indices. Now, what I mean is that this logarithm form that is inside this box, I want to change it back to this. I want to change it back to this. So how am I going to change it? I'm going to simply write the number back, which is what? Which is 64. Then is equals to what? What is the base? The base is actually what? Is actually 2. Then raised to the power, which is what? Of. Do you understand? So that is how to change, from logarithm form to what? To indices. Now, let us now reflect on this law of logarithm. So we normally say that the logarithm of a number n the logarithm of a number n here to a given base what? B, the logarithm of a number n to a given base b is actually the power, this power x, to which this base b must be raised to give us n back. To give us n back. So what are we trying to say? Please, let's reflect on that. Let me repeat this again. The logarithm of a number n to a given base b is the power x, is this power x to which b must be raised to give us n back. So what are we trying to say? Okay, I'm saying the logarithm of a number n. So let's say the logarithm of 100, for example now. Logarithm of 100 to base what? To base 10. The logarithm of 100 to base 10 is the power. Okay, let me write it this way. Now, the logarithm of 100, you understand? Logarithm of 100 to base what? To base 10 is the power. What? What's the power to which this base? What's the base here, please? What's the base here? The base is actually what? Is actually 10. So what is the power to which 10 must be raised? What is the power to which 10 must be raised to give us this 100? To give us this number, which is to give us this 100. The power is what? The power is 2. So what you are simply saying is that if you say 10 raised to the power of what? 10 raised to the power of 2, you understand? You will get what? 100. So that is that about that. So meaning that the logarithm of a number 100 to base 10 is the power to which the 10, this base, which is 10, must be raised to give us what? To give us 100, to give us the number. So meaning that the logarithm is 2 here. So we can simply say that the logarithm is power. Logarithm is the power to which the base must be raised to give us the number. Thank you.